wanted to also just say something about the soulmate thing. That personally just interests me. I kind of sort of resonate with Misha when he says that it doesn't rub up so well with him in a way. Obviously, I find it confronting that I'm not the totality of divine,
of yourself,
perfect consciousness, and the more I come to know God and be at one with God, thus I feel fully sustained, fully embodied, fully connected, like I wouldn't even be looking for a soulmate, because I, like the holy saints and the holy brothers, or the ones that have cracked it, I mean, do you think that maybe they're looking for they're still on the lookout for the soulmate?
And
the other thing that I just wanted to...
A lot of them haven't been. Like, I've met many of them in the spirit world, and they are totally detuned from their own sexuality completely. And they've never met their soulmate for that reason. They're just totally detuned from this aspect of themselves. However...
The other thing I just wanted to say, just to throw in the mix...
Can I answer what you've already said?
If you don't mind. And that is that when I used to go into schools, I used to be in the classroom, and I used to look at the kids, and I'd look over at a child. Maybe they might be about 13 or 14 years old. I'd look over at that young person, and I would be like, I'm not actually sure whether that is a boy or a girl. I think it's a boy, but it kind of feels like a girl. And I kind of had this crazy idea, take it for what it is. I thought to myself, wow, they're more androgyne. Does that mean their masculine and feminine components are more evolved, and
can I answer
they
that
have
question?
that kind of energy, more kind of complete maybe than a lot of...
I understand the question. Do you want me to answer it?
Yeah.
Okay. When you looked over the child, you actually saw two people. There was the person, the child, and their own soul and their own spirit body. But they were also controlled by a spirit. A spirit was overcloaking them. And what happens is, the two have sort of like mixed with each other. And this is, unfortunately, this is what happens frequently because our children are not protected by it because of our emotional condition. So what finishes up happening is that almost every single person has another person or more than one person with them constantly who you cannot see but you can feel. And as a result, you feel the blending or the amalgamation of both of their conditions, whatever their condition is. And so right at this moment, if I can...
They seem like the most evolved ones in the classroom. They seem like the ones like, wow, you know, they've got...
No, they were the most overcloaked in the classroom, with the most, and they have a spirit influencing their intellect, and so they seem intellectually developed. But unfortunately, they're being controlled by another entity.
I'd say more like spiritual emanation.
No, they're exactly the same as you are right now. They are controlled by another entity. Right now, you are being controlled by another entity. Can you see it?
Hello?
Because right now you are. And it's a standard or normal state for you. So you don't realise it as much as you're able to. There are a lot of people in this room, this is part of your law of attraction, there are a lot of people in this room who are controlled almost constantly by another entity.
What's the percentage?
In this room, yeah. Around 45% of this room, people in this room are controlled by another entity for a fair portion of their life.
Can I ask specifically me?
Emma, what do you feel?
I don't actually feel like I am influenced. Not 100% of the time though. So, but I couldn't tell the difference.
You are not 100% of the time controlled by other entities, but you are highly influenced by them, and if you look at some of the emotions, you'll be able to see why. What's happened in the past in your life? Some pretty damaging actions, yes? What allowed you to tolerate them?
Being able to numb out, I guess.
Sorry?
Being able to numb out.
Being able to numb out, space out, get away from yourself. Who do you think took control of you then? Someone else. That's what happens. Every time you avoid fully connecting to your own self, you allow the ability for another person to connect to you.
So AJ, then, are you saying we
listening to and hearing that guardians are guardians, angels, people, guides. They're not all good then necessarily.
No, I've actually been along with other people to a medium, and the thing that the medium's describing is completely not what's happening.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand
A lot of
that.
times the medium says, "Oh, your guide is with me," and they're saying this and that and this and that. And I'm going, "That's not their guide. That's a really dark spirit who's just stepping in and making out they're their guide because they can." And the medium's connecting to that person and telling the story. And this is the problem, is that unless we're sensitive emotionally to the condition of people, including people we cannot see, we will not know who's overcloaking us at any one point in time. We will not understand or know. The only way we can know is by becoming more sensitive emotionally and actually feeling the difference between our own personality and nature and the personality and nature of the person who's with us. Now, sometimes the person who's with us is our guide, is a benevolent spirit trying to assist us, and all of you have one of them, a benevolent spirit trying to assist you to discover more truth. That's why you're actually here. But all of us also have other malevolent spirits with us that cause us to make different choices and decisions and so forth. Yeah? And each of us have different susceptibility to those spirits based on our emotional neediness for different emotions from them. And that is actually the subject of what I would like to discuss the next time we have a discussion with you. Does that sound right? Yeah. I would like to talk to you about that because I see that as a particular problem here.
It's a particular problem here.
Yeah. And so, I'd love to discuss that with you in a lot more detail at another time during this visit. So I think our next planned chat is on the 14th.
Yeah, the evening.
On the evening of the 14th.
I think is it the hall next door? Isn't it?
Yeah. The hall next door? Yeah. So this one just through here, isn't it? Basically the other one. So that's what I'd love to discuss with you.
That's an evening one. And then
That's
the 26th is the next day.
And the 26th of
February
is the last one that we have. So there's this one, there's one on the 14th of February when we get back from Sweden, and then one on the 26th.